Hello and welcome everyone here for round number 3 of the OSRL Season 5, round number 3. We're here today in Shanghai, in China for the Chinese Grand Prix. And as you can see, we're in qualifying right now and we're going on to the first lap of the day with IRT of Ferry Lando, the newly made international racing team driver for today's qualifying session. So we're about to go on the lap as he is now going into turn number 1, into down to turn number 2, falling into turn 3 and 4, up into 5th gear as he will make the inside line, down into 3rd and down to 2nd gear. Pretty hard on the exit and he spins out already and he got damage. Not the greatest start for him into this qualifying session, as he just lost the traction and spins into the wall. Not the greatest start for IoT Ferry Lando, who finished in P6 last week. He was up there fighting for the top positions for a long time, and then lap, I think it was 55 or 54. He was fighting with Scuderia 7, I think. Scuderia 7 moved a little bit under braking, which then turned out into Ferry Lando nearly taking out his teammate last week. Of course, Vaki as a reserve who won the race, as Ferry Lando nearly went straight on and took out his teammate. So that it nearly ended up badly, but of course, Ferry Lando just dropped down to P6 in the end. He was able to carry on, get a few points, but lost the podium, lost his first chance at a podium in OSRL. So that was pretty unlucky for him, but now we are going to jump on board with Ryan, even though that's not the best view to be on right now because of the engine glitch. That's why I'll just jump back onto the Nachama. Actually, who's first up, who's on the lap? I think it is Vaki right now. Though he ran wide inside but has crashed out of this qualifying session. And this might mean this means we have only 10 drivers left in this qualifying session, and a few of them probably might not even do the full qualifying, as Kuhn also spins out for right around Steiben. Ryan sets the fastest lap. Kuhn still has the full front wing, so it was no incident between him and Steiben, but pretty interesting. Two drivers spinning around the same part of the track in corner number 8, or pretty much in the S-curves between 7 and 8. Pretty weird place to spin at, but Steiben's out. Ryan with the fast lap, and the only guy who set a lap yet, Vaki with a 2.1. That's definitely not what he can do. He will do a lap now, though. We also have Carl on a lap. He is on the place where Steiben just crashed. And I can tell from what most of these drivers have said, and it's not uncommon for these drivers to hate this track. They don't seem to like it. They do not like this track at all. The only guy that I know in here that really somehow loves this track for no apparent reason is Steiben, and Steiben crashing out here is pretty ironic. He wanted the track all the time. It's on the calendar now, and the first guy to crash out in qualifying to retire is Steiben himself, so that's a pretty ironic thing. But I mean, he always said that he has the pace on here and that he will provide results here, as Carl's coming back into the pits now. As Steiben always said that he has the pace and to do some results here. As Kuhn is going straight on into the gravel again in the same place. Pretty weird thing. But Steiben always said that he has the pace to provide results here. And I mean, today, there are not a lot of drivers racing today, unfortunately. And I mean, Steiben does have the chance to pick up some good points, and it's maybe his 3rd podium in a row. Of course, he finished in P3 last week after a pretty weird incident with Prain. Pretty controversial incident as well. Deemed as a racing incident at the end. But of course, Prain is not racing today, so I mean, today maybe the chances are that he won't be involved in any in any crash with a Mercedes. Of course, week 1, race 1 this season, he was involved in an incident with Kuhn. We are following right now, who's giving, I think it is Underboss a tow a little bit. Some nice tactics here, maybe to give Underboss his best finishing position of his OSRL career. That might be a thing here. Of course, we're only 11 drivers sadly today, because of some drivers not making it, or a lot of drivers not making it, but with Underboss coming in with a 32.1, that's two seconds off Ryan in P1 right now. Pretty unlucky for the Racing Point driver, but of course he has got P2 right now. He is the second driver to set a lap, so shouldn't be too unhappy about it, but of course not a lot of competition in here right now, so that's one thing that we gotta look out for here. Of course, there's not a lot of competition here, so it will be easier for some guys to do something here. As now, I think it is Marty and Ferry-Lando. Ferry-Lando now coming around the final corner, putting in a time off 31.3, and you can see that the times, they are not really close to each other. I mean, it's that says a lot about how the pace difference is today. As Marty hits the wall coming into the pits. Really hitting the wall there. I thought he was finishing his lap, but didn't have vacuum in the woods finishing his lap. Kuhn also not doing any serious laps right now, so this might be the most unexciting qualifying that we had so far. As Nachoman should be our next guy to be able to put in a lap. Probably the last remaining guy next to Marty and Carl, who should be able to get a win in here, a lap in here. Matchman now approaching the final sector of the track. Could giving him another part of slipstream. Puts in a 30.6. This time the slipstream of Kuhn really helped out. And the Nacho Man up to P2. That's the best qualifying result as of now. Of course, we'll probably see a lot of best qualifying results right now. But that's a great thing for him. So Yeah, great job by the Nacho Man. Now we have Kuhn with the lap. It's a little bit improved, of course. P5 only for him now. Means Lemon on the intermediates. Only also doing something. With Carl still sitting in the pits, now we have Kuhn spinning around again. Just wasting some softs here. Seb and Marty are now on laps. Marty, of course, he is behind Seb, so we'll just go on board with Seb, current championship leader. He has won for the first round, second round P2, so pretty good looking for him. And also Stuyven, they're far ahead in the constructors championship. They're leading by 54 points ahead of Renault. And both Renault drivers are not here, as Joe Fain has scored the only points for them. Mercedes only on 19, and of course Prain not here today, but of course Prain has been pretty unlucky here. He missed the first round. Last round he crashed with Stuyven. So Stuyven taking out the competitors. Help them. So he's coming to a halt before the start-finish straight. Just going back into the pits. As Marty now, probably the final guy to set a serious lap here unless Kyle goes out again, comes over the line and he will put in a 31.2. That's P3 for now. As Hammond is disqualified from the session, of course, he came into P6, but he wants to start from the back. Now with Ryan on his outlap. Underboss jumps up to P3 with a 31.1. We have both racing points in P2 and 3 right now. Revolutionary. This is crazy. Never seen them this far up. Even when pit stops were happening, I never saw them high this far up. But right now, they are in those positions, and they might want to get something out of it today, because if not today, when then? Oh yeah, 2 minutes to go. Ryan will be able to set a lap, but I don't think it will take anything away from him. I think he will stay the current pole setter, and he will probably stay it in the end. So that should be what's gonna happen. As right now coming down the main, or the long straight, I should say, not the back straight. Now coming down into turn number 14. Starts breaking the zone off the track. Down to the final little corner. Really nicely. P1 29.6, and that should be pole in the race. That no one's gonna take that off of him. Kuhn's not gonna set a lap. Kyle right now will set a lap. He will start his lap, and he wants to improve, of course. I mean, he hasn't set a lap yet, and he wants to get away from those quick guys at the back. He definitely does not want to start there next to Simon. Currently in the second sector. And he invalidated, so he won't start anywhere from the front. Ryan has finished his qualifying lap. Only Furry Lando is on 1 right now. He's not improving. Kuhn also not improving. But he will start on the mediums. That's a good thing. The Williams only shows Nicholas Latifi for me right now, even though that should be... I actually don't know who the Williams should be right now. I completely forgot about the name. But now we have Furry Lando, the last guy on the lap. He's improving by a second. And Furry Lando looks to at least take P2 off the Nacho Man. But, I mean, it will be McLaren 1, 2 and Racing Point 2, 3. But where will Furry Lando start? Coming towards the line now. Coming over the line. 29.6. It's not enough. And Ryan gains the first pole position of his OSRL career. I don't know if he ever had a pole position before. But he gets pole in China. What a lap from Ryan, but Furry Lando came close, only 40 thousandths of a second behind his teammate. But IRT 1-2 for Ryan and Furry Lando. A second ahead of Nacho Man. And a Racing Point second row on the grid. Also, very, very rare to see. Very rare thing to happen in a race. We see here the full grid. Ryan ahead of Furry Lando, making it a front row lockout for the McLaren team. Then we have the Racing Point locking out the second row. We have Martin P5, Kuhn in P6, Wagner in P7. Then we have the Williams of Chizzy who just joined. Carl P9, Stuyven, Lemon, and Scuderia Seb all not setting a time, or the last two guys getting disqualified so they can start on whatever tire they want to start on. And now we'll jump into the race. And one thing to mention about China, you can really say this track eats the tires up, and you really have to be careful with the tire wear here, which is really, really not good for you if you cannot manage those tires and get them to pretty much the one. Pretty much, I mean, I don't actually know what the strategy will be like on this track, because I have actually never driven on this track in this year. But for the people that are starting on the softs, I could imagine seeing a two-stop onto the mediums twice. But it could also be onto the hards at some point, and then just pray and hope for them to go to the end. But I don't know actually. I'll just have to look. As Diamond gets disqualified just with Carl. They touched at the start of the formation lap. But you can see the top 5, of course, qualifying on the softs. Then we have Kuhn on the mediums, Vaki on the hards, Lemon and Scuderia up on the mediums, Stuyben on the mediums, Carl and Chizzy on the hards as well. So we will have to see what is going to go with the what's going to go on with the strategies here. You can see the medium to hard strategy is the one-stop strategy, pitting in lap 13, and the softs, as I said, pitting from around 6 to 8. And then I think it was 13 to 17. I didn't actually quite catch the lap. It was 17 to 23 for the second medium stop. So we'll have to watch out and see what's going to happen here, of course. Now we have 2 guys sitting on the grid with cold tires in Carl and Stuyben. So I could imagine them having problems to get away from their grid spots. But we'll have to wait and see what they are going to do, because it's going to be a tricky start anyways, going into the snake curve, turn 1 and 2. Just because it's a pretty difficult corner to find your braking point, especially when going into the first corner. But I mean, they can be pretty lucky that we don't have a lot of drivers on the track right now, because I mean, a lot of drivers hate this track, so I could guess some of them didn't want to drive today, but we'll have to wait and see. But now the last guys are coming back to the grid. We have Vaki, Lemon, the last 2 guys there, coming towards the grid, and then we will have the race start here from China, as Ryan and Furlando have already taken their grid spots. And now the 5 red lights will come on, and then we will be on the way for the Chinese Grand Prix. So we're now waiting for the lights to come on. So if the first light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, and 5 lights. We are on the way for the Chinese Grand Prix of the OSRL. Looked like Furlando had a pretty good start, and he already gets past Ryan up into turn 1. The McLaren takes the lead, but Ryan wants to keep it around the outside, but he's running wide. Will the racing point of Anna was take it up the inside of him, but he will not make it. The Dutchman had a pretty good start, but he is alongside Ryan now, and will he be able to get past him? Switching back on the inside now. He's not trying to make the move quite yet, but a pretty good start for Dutchman. As Kuhn and Lemon already up to P5 and 6. Stuyben dropped down to P11 because of the cold tires. Now we have Lemon trying to go around the outside of Kuhn. It didn't quite work out. Now switching back onto the other outside, but now it will be the inside for the next corner. The Williams trying to go down the inside, not quite enough. Stays behind Kuhn, but they're still they're still close to each other, so this is the closest battle on track. At the front though, Ryan is already close to falling out of the DRS of Furlando. Ryan is dropped out of the DRS now. Pretty horrific start for Ryan. Nearly lost out on the lead, on P2 even. But now we have Furlando in the lead. Some moves that could be made here at the back of the grid. There's a Ferrari trying to go down the inside of Marty, and Vaki gets the move done up to P7. Now we have Scuderia waiting right at the back of Marty as well. Locking up a little bit Furlando with the fast step here. We can see the pit stop strategies again as the glitch is coming back again for yet another time. The timing glitch, I don't know what's going on with it. But Kuhn now getting past Under, was up into P4 it should be. He's still side by side with him, but he gets past him. A little bit of a wheel tap there, even though he's ghosting. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. And Lemon also gets past. And Lemon now trying to go around the outside of Kuhn. Will he be able to get the move done? Now switching to the inside. He's still ghosting. But Lemon now gets the better exit. Comes back around, and he gets past Kuhn up into 4th place, and now he's close to Dutchman already, who's dropping down out of the DRS of Ryan. But Ryan showing at the same time that he has the pace to maybe stick close to Furlando and to keep in the DRS. Even though he's still not quite close enough to make a move, but DRS is really important here, especially on the long straight that they're approaching right now. Because, I mean, you will just get close and you will have so much more speed. I mean, you can see how OP that DRS is, and there's spin Marty in the grass as he lost it coming out of turn number 12, 14. Yeah, it's between 12 and 13. He just lost it on the traction as Lemon now gets past Dutchman. Pretty little bit of a look up, but Vaki also gets past Underboss, who drops down to P7. Underboss struggling on the softs. But you can see that Underboss caught the corner there a little bit. And Scuderius will now try to take advantage of that up to P7. Underboss lost 4 positions in a lap. Actually, yeah, he lost 4 positions in a lap, dropping down to P8. Being in P4 before that. Scuderius coming close to the back of Vaki right here. And now we will have a pretty good fight here once they get through that, because they'll probably be in a fight with Kuhn and maybe even Lemon. But Kuhn cannot get past Dutchman right now, and it's giving Lemon the advantage to build a little bit of a gap to him. But Kuhn will probably just wait for the DRS to come and get him past him, as Stuyven also makes the move against Underboss. Little bit of touching going on there. Also Underboss sliding onto the curb, but Stuyven gets through on Underboss in P number 8. As Kuhn has lost it. Kuhn has lost the car. Didn't even notice it. I just saw the signs on the left side that he was falling down places. And Kuhn is down to P9. As Scuderius now checking back up into P5. And Kuhn has just lost the championship hopes completely for Mercedes. There are still a lot of rounds to go, but just not good for him, as now Chizzy and Carl are fighting side by side. Coming into the final corner, Wool one back out. No, Chizzy keeps the position, but now Carl trying to come back on him. Will he be able to get the move done? Up into P10. Side by side, going into the first corner. Kyle keeping it around the outside, not quite making it. Now maybe trying to come back down the inside. No, he will not. As Lemon is trying to make a move up for P2, going down the inside of Ryan, and he made the move work out up to P2. Great overtaking by Lemon to already get up to P2. He started in P11. And now he's already up to P2. Scuderius up now close to the Nutsham, and he probably will wait for the DRS to open up for him. Staying close, but not enough yet. The Nutsham is running wide. The second Racing Point has lost the position. 2 positions, now 3 positions. And what was the second row in the grid for Racing Point now turned into the 4th row in the race. And Kuhn being close to him makes Underboss drop down to P9 as Furlando lost the lead. Actually, he kept it to Lemon. I thought he lost it, but he did not actually. Now Lemon trying to attack though into turn number 1. Lemon going down the inside. Actually, no, he switches back around the outside. Keeping it there with the speed that he has there side by side going into turn 2. And Lemon will take the lead of Furlando, who still tries to keep it there, but it's not enough. Lemon and the Williams up to P1. What a move by Lemon around the outside of turn number 1, which turned into the inside for turn number 2. And he takes the lead. And Underboss goes for the mediums. His tires were done. And now we have got some fights going on here. Furlando not unable to keep it close to Lemon. Which just means Lemon will pace away now. A little bit further down, Ryan is coming closer to Furlando again, so the teammates for McLaren might have a little bit of a fight here. as Fernando has lost some time by that overtaking over by Lemon. He gave Ryan to get the chance to get the DRS back. From Fernando, you could just hear that little beep to hear that Ryan was able to activate his DRS, as you can also see at the top right of the steering wheel, the two little white things there. They show you that he has his DRS activated. As you can see them again, the two white circles right above the timing on a steering wheel show you that he has got the DRS activated when he's close enough. As Stuyven now gets past Vaki, who lost the position, Kuhn gets past Danachoman, as Carl and Marty both in the pits. In lap 6 on the hards. Marty makes sense, but Carl probably picked up some damage. I can imagine that. And now Scuderia Sepp is coming closer to Ryan. So Scuderia Sepp will jump into the fun here, fighting for the few positions at the top here. Marty and Carl going both for the mediums. As Scuderia Sepp now, he is close enough to make a move on the straight probably. Same goes for Vaki against Stuyven. And Sepp will probably just put himself right in front, right into the position to check Ryan on the straight. With DRS, you can see Ryan is running a little bit wide here. You can see that the pressure that he got from Stuyven, from Sepp, my bad. I just got mixed up with the drivers there, but it didn't quite help him. And now you can see, even with the toe that Ryan is getting from Sepp, the DRS is just so overpowered that Sepp's not losing any time. Locking up a little bit, that's probably a warning for Ryan for cutting the inner curb. As Scuderia Sepp now overtaking Fernando, who dives down into the pit lane. Not doing a Hamilton here. Hamilton 2007, of course, that's one of the biggest moments in pit lane history that has ever happened there. I have Stuyven and Vaki also close to Ryan. Ryan Pulsiter also seemingly losing pace in this race. Just not a good showing for him. As Stuyven now trying to get past Ryan. DRS will be popping for both of those guys. And Stuyven now getting past Ryan up into third place. Vaki taking the better of it, not trying to make a late move on him. But Ryan will try to come back on Stuyven, who outbroke himself. Not enough though. Yellow flags. Probably Nacho Man and Anonymous who are fighting. Vaki now gets past Ryan, who also dives into the pit lane. Going over the grass on the inside of the pit lane entry. Vaki now close to Stuyven, not trying to make a move here. Not quite close enough to make it around the outside, but Stuyven defended that pretty well going into turn 1. As Shizzy gets the 3-second time penalty here First guy, actually the second guy to pick one up after Underboss. As now Vaki going for the move with the US Open, getting past Stibe and up into third place. As there's the yellow flag, it is Kyle. Just went straight on and he retired, and it's a safety car caused by him. This right here changes the dynamic of the incidents that we've seen. This right here changes the dynamic of the pit stops, not of the incidents we've seen, of course. As Danacho gets the driver for speeding under the safety car. How unlucky is that? And now we'll have to see what drivers are going to pit now and maybe go for the hards to try to come to the end. You can see the guys on the mediums will definitely pit now and go for the hards. But the guys on the hards will need to do at least 2 stops now. Not the greatest thing for them. I can see everyone pitting. Vaki had to go for the mediums. All the guys on the hards are pitting right now. Pretty much everyone is using this as a free stop. And now Chizzy is leading, actually. He took the lead. He didn't pit. So he got the lead off Vaki now, but he's letting his AI drive right now. I don't know if he's racing or not. One thing to look out for. But he is in the league. And now we're just waiting for safety car period to end as Lemon Yellow loses it under the safety car. Hard on the traction. Now we are only probably about 1 lap or 2 laps from restarting this race right here. As you can see, we have some guys on the mediums that did not pit, and Underboss and Marty. We have Fairylander on used hearts right now. And that's pretty much everything of that. Everyone else... actually, yeah, Chizzy's on 10 leveled hearts, but apart from that... Now we're just... yeah, and the safety car is coming in this lap now. Has turned off the lights. So we're about to head up onto the race restart in the Chinese Grand Prix round number 3 of the OSRL. And now we will have to even a closer fight than before. Of course, before people were not close enough to really get to fighting, but now we will have that coming back, and hopefully we'll have what we had at the start of the race, as now Chizzy will be able to take on the pace and start the race again whenever he wants to, go up to full speed, as he's going now right before the final corner. I think Lemon really had a good way to follow that, as Stuyben and Underboss both got 5-second penalties for some collision. The Nacho Man is pitting now on... he already pitted for fresh mediums. I don't know why he's pitting now. Maybe damage. Vaki and Fairylander though, side by side. Vaki around the outside, now turning into the inside. Vaki, the Ferrari, up to P number 4. Still side by side, but Vaki gets the place. And now Lemon in contention of maybe overtaking Chizzy up for P1. So, yellow flag, and Marty has crashed again. Right after the start, a few laps in, or actually here this time close, right after start. Another crash. Ryan and Underboss going side by side here. Into turn number 7. And Ryan comes out ahead in P8. As now Lemon retakes the lead ahead of Chizzy. Now Scurriusap has to make a move on the straight to follow Lemon and be able to make an attack later on in this race again. Now Scurriusap will be able to open up. Actually, yeah, DRS is not allowed yet, so he won't be able to use DRS, so he needs to get past him without any other help. Not quite able to yet. Chizzy also staying quite close to the guys at the front. Didn't quite expect that to really happen. And here's Scurriusap actually not quite able to get past Chizzy right now. And Lemon is running away. Probably will get out. Yeah, he got off the DRS of Chizzy already. And now Scurriusap is in a pretty bad spot, because this right here is not helping Seb. But you can see P3, P2 to P8 all inside of the DRS, as Vaki's running wide a little bit. And now Lemon is saying, thank you Chizzy. You're just helping me so much by holding up everyone else that I can just run away with it and make something out of it. Maybe even get the race win already secured. Unless the safety car or something is coming out. Of course, that could change this race again, but I highly doubt that there will be another safety car. Of course, Marty has spun a few times, but I just cannot see it. This time, no attack. Slovakia breaking himself, nearly running into the back of Seb. And Vaki got past Korea Seb, but will it be enough to also get past Chizzy up for P2? Yeah, he got the run down here, right into turn number 4, actually turn number 5, going down the inside. That's Vaki up into P2, but already 3 seconds down to Lemon, to the other Williams. So it's not looking great for him right now. Now, we do have this whole pack still fighting together. So all still in play for P2. Now Korea Seb will have help of the DRS this lap. I think it should be this lap. I actually don't know if it was activated this lap or next lap. But Vaki also running out of DRS here. And that's just helping him so much that Chizzy is just in the way for all of those drivers. Of course, Chizzy still has to pit one more time. But now Korea Seb with the DRS. Chizzy has got it open too. Seb won't go for he will go for the late dive, trying to make the move, outbraking himself, but it will be enough, a little bit of a touch there, but Korea Seb makes that move because he knows that he has to come and get closer to Vaki again to have a chance at P2 as Vaki sets the fastest lap of the race. He's really flying right now. But of course, he is on a medium, so he will be quicker than everyone else. Also, now we'll just watch Kuhn nearly going into the back of the McLaren of Ferry Lando. That was a quite close call. But he was able to keep it out of his rear, and a little bit of a tap from Kuhn against Ferry Lando. They're getting close to each other. But somehow surviving it. And now Ferrylano trying to get past Chizzy, also with a slight bit of a touch, I think. This is the closest battle we've had all day long now. P4 to P8, and Kuhn spins it. Once again, the same place he spun it in. The first time in the race, he also lost it again. This time he just touched the inside curb and then lost it on traction. This is unfortunate for Kuhn because he was sitting in a pretty good position. He would have been P number 4 if he would have got past Ryan. Actually, he would have been P5. He would have been able to get past Ryan and Chizzy. But now he spins it again. And Ryan moves up to P5. Actually, no, Chizzy will keep it in front. Didn't expect that to happen, but Ryan makes the switch back down the inside, which turns into the outside now. A little bit of a tap there for Chizzy, who's a little bit going sideways, but Stuyben now the next one to make a move, and Chizzy loses another place because of that tap, and Marty spun it again. Third time in this race that Marty has spun it now. But now we will have a little bit of a fight again between P4 and P7. Or better said, P6. Because the Williams of Chizzy has now lost his only chance to keep within. Because the hearts will start falling off. Or, I mean, they have been falling off. They just don't have the grip as the other cars. Which will not help him at all now. So yeah, he is just in a pretty bad spot right now. Of course, he has to pit one more time. And he won't make it to the end. I mean, he's driving on those tires for 15 laps. And he needs to take them 30 more laps. And it's not gonna work for him. It's not gonna work at the end. And Stuyben is losing some time to Ryan, and we have a fight between the pole sitter, the front row in P4 and P5 now. As Vaki is coming closer to Lemon, I highly doubt that that Vaki's tires will go to the end because he would need to survive 17 laps on them. But maybe it's possible. Maybe he can win this race still. As Ryan is close 2 times only to Ferrari Lando. But he's just not quite close enough to make a move on him. As Marty's pitting now, of course he had the spin, so the last few guys are really dropping back right now. And now Vaki is really staying on that 1.6 mark. So he's not getting really close. Also not staying back too far. And now Ryan is trying to go for the late move. He's not made it in the end. But we have the Racing Point spinning. I think it was. Actually, Ryan made the move now at the end. Got past Trey Lando. I just tried to figure out who it was. I think it was Underboss though. Actually, it was the Nacho Man who spun. Because Marty is closer to Underboss. But they're in real danger of getting lapped soon. The guys at the back there. Simon now gets the penalty. He already dropped out of the DRS to Lando. And now Vaki gets into the DRS of Lemon. This could change some things in this race. Now Vaki, what will he do? Will he be able to get those tires to the end? And will he attack Lemon? And will he be able to attack Lemon? I mean, it looks like he's still the faster guy on the track right now. Underboss now with another penalty. And Vaki is getting closer and closer to the Williams of Lemon. Also both locking up here going into turn 14. But Vaki is now as close as ever, trying to make the move. Ferrari Lando not making the move for P4, he was close. Seb gets the penalty now, which puts him out of the run for P1, pretty much. Vaki not quite able to get there as of now. but he's trying. Underboss gets another penalty. Yes, it was a spin. I think it was Chizzy on his hearts. Yeah, Chizzy probably spun on his hearts. Looks like it. It's got a little bit of gravel on his tires. And now Vaki with the DRS. This should be his time. Lemon moving to the inside. Makes Vaki going around the outside into turn 14 for the lead. Ferrari driver runs over the curb a little bit. Not quite enough to get the move done. But now he will have DRS again, of course. And they had a little bit of a bad exit coming out of the final corner. So Lemon will keep the lead for yet another lap. Ryan fighting still, and now Ryan trying to make the same move as Furlando did. They're still going side by side, but Ryan this time has made the move work. A little bit of a touch there from Furlando, but Ryan up to P4 performing the same move, but now Furlando going down the inside. No, actually he's not pulling it back. But they are having fun, having a great battle there. Also, we have the racing points dropping down to P10 and 11. Under was fighting for P9 with Marty, but far off the guys at the front of the grid. But now Vaki might be able to make the move this time. He's not as close to Lemon coming out of the final corner, but his exit is not great out of the final corner. Just doesn't help him to get the speed that he needs to attack Lemon. And this time both guys far down. I mean, this time Ferdinand will probably make it. I thought he was down too far, but he got a lot of speed on the straight. On the harsh, going to the inside now. The McLaren of Furlando on the inside of Ryan. Ryan trying to keep it on the outside. Looks like he got it still on the traction. They're still close to each other. They've been battling for like 15 laps now. Actually, not 15 laps. Probably like around 9 to 10, I'd say. Fari Lando and Vakia keeping it really close. On about 5/10 to 6/10 between the guy in front, but they're not able to make a move at some point. And Ryan and Fairy Lando now still fighting. Lando tried to make the move, but now he lost time, and now maybe even gives the chance to Stuyben to come back. Who now is in the DRS, but at in the top two positions right now. Vaki is trying to make a comeback and a move for P number 1, as he is close enough to make a move, hopefully at some point. Has just not done that yet. Probably, I mean, at some point he probably will be, hopefully will be close enough, but I mean the tires are losing grip and all that anyways. Which is not helping him in his favor, as Lemon moves over to the right side of the track, trying to defend the inside. But this time Vaki goes for the inside, the lap that I was talking about, his tires and all that going off. He makes the move for P1, a little bit of a touch there, but he lets Lemon pass again because he thought it was a little bit of an unfair move. Class move to do by Vaki, as Ryan and Furry Lando still fighting once again coming out of turn 14. Furry Lando trying to go around the outside into the final corner. Side by side, he runs off the track, keeps going. They're side by side and he comes out ahead, but he needs to give Ryan the position. Probably because he overtook him outside of the track, and now Stuyben trying to come around on the inside. No, maybe of both guys. Those guys fighting. Ryan going... they tried to go free wide because of Ryan trying to come back there. Stuyben now on the fight with Furry Lando, and Stuyben gets both positions up into P4, and Ryan is coming back on Furry Lando up to P5. Going down the inside of Stuyben maybe. But he gets the penalty because of it. That would put him down to P6 now that Stuyben is in front of him, and Furry Lando would gain both places. What is happening here? Stuyben took advantage, but now he needs to gain 2 seconds or 3 seconds ahead of Furry Lando, who's now trying to go down the inside of Ryan, keeps the better of it. And Furry Lando lost 2 positions after gaining it in the final corner, which I thought was a little bit of an unfair move because he just went off track and kept going. Well, even it's a hard corner to go for a move even, but Vaki now again, once again going down the inside in the final corner. Vaki now, this time it looks like it, he outbreaks himself a little bit, locking up, but it looks like he gets the P1. Lemon trying to come back around the inside this time. Gets the move done. Vaki with the better exit out of the final corner though. This time Vaki, what will he do? Going down the inside into turn 1. Gets the move done on the straight, but Lemon keeps it there. He will have the inside in corner 2. Will it be enough? A little bit of a tap there. Lemon, they're still touching wheels, barging wheels. And Lemon keeps it ahead of Vaki with 3 laps to go. Vaki now going down the inside again of Lemon. Braking a little bit later, and Lemon with the switchback. Will it be enough for him? It looks like it will be. Little bit of a touch there, Lemon running wide, and Vaki now got the lead of the touching wheels, and Scuderia Seb also will join in on the fun for the fight for P1. This is incredible stuff. We also got the fight for P4 going on, of course, right now. Scuderia Seb won't have that much of a say in the fight for P1 right now, of course. He has got the 3-second time penalty. But maybe he can say something if the guys in front will take each other out or have some kind of an incident that would change the whole dynamic of this fight for the win here. And Ryan and Furlando have lost a little bit of time now. Lemon coming back on Vaki though. Swerving a little bit near, losing the car. He spun the car on the straight in the wall and he lost his front wing. Lemon giving up places. He lost the car on the straight. He was just weaving across. And lost the front wing, lost the car, spins it again, and he will be not out of the race. But he has lost his whole front wing and has left the session after spinning it on the straight, going for the move on P1. Now Scuderia Seb is close to Vaki, who won't have DRS, so they'll be fighting out for P1 on track. Scuderia Seb still needs to gain 3 seconds though and hope for a Vaki puncture. 16 laps on the mediums are a pretty hard thing to do, so maybe the tires are going to be done and Vaki will have a puncture. That would be one amazing thing. I mean, not amazing thing for Vaki of course, but maybe one thing to happen for him. I don't know, of course, how bad his tires are looking right now. We'll have to wait and see what's going on with the tires. Lemon now pitting. Of course, his AI is dropping down to P8, which is not great for him. Now Vaki and Scuderia Seb fighting for the P2. What will happen with them? But it looks like Vaki will probably come out on top. Ryan and Furlando still keeping it in distance with Stuyben, which would mean Furlando would get that P3 back in the end. Yeah, it would be a podium for him now. His first podium in OSRL would come at the best time possible for him, even though he lost it on penalties. But now Stuyben has broken the DRS to Ryan. 1.3 seconds with a lap to go. As Furlando now trying to get past Ryan on the inside. Gets the move down by the looks of it. Little bit of a corner cut, but looked like he cut the corner on the inside a little bit there. Maybe a warning. But Ryan tries to keep it there. Maybe full send on the straight. As Vaki and Scuderia Seb also fighting it out for a P1, but Scuderia Seb taking the better of it. Ryan to come back around the outside into turn 1. And it started to rain a little bit here. The rain starting in the final lap of the race. It won't impact the race or the tires or the track or anything else. As Ryan now around the outside of Furlando. Not quite able to get the move done. But it helped Stuyben to gain a second on Furlando. Ryan now going down the inside of Furlando. Will get the move done on Furlando. And Furlando is probably going to lose his third place that he nearly had secured because of the time penalty. If he keeps fighting that hard with Ryan. Still 9 tenths to be gained for Stuyben. Now about 8 tenths. The rain is starting now, so maybe some guys will struggle. Which I don't expect to happen, but maybe. It could come into play now at some point. But Scuderia Seb will have one final attack for P1. Of course, Vaki has got no penalty, so he will get P1 back because of the penalty. But Vaki will probably win the race. Scuderia Seb winning it on track though, by the looks of it, as Ryan has dropped down a second to Furlando. What has happened to him? Now that means Stuyben will lose his podium to Furlando on penalties. Scuderia Seb coming over the line, winning on track. Vaki will win it off the track though because of penalties. Stuyben coming across the line in P3. Just not enough by 7 tenths of a second. Furlando will take P3. Ryan coming on P4 because Stuyben had a 5-second unserved penalty that he took with Underboss. Maybe it will get removed. But not quite enough. Underboss getting past Lemon though. He will get 2 more points because of Lemon of course being out of the race. But now the final guys are coming over as Lagoon spins it on. Coming over the line. We have Chizzy coming on P7. And now we have the final guys that we are waiting for. Underboss now coming over the line in P9. Lemon in P10. Jumps Underboss though, and Underboss and Nacho Man. What a race. Scuderia Sepp gets driver of the day, well deserved. Finishing P2. But what a few laps at the end there. I just killed my voice, what happened at the end there. But Vaki wins the race off the track because of Scuderia Sepp's penalty, who hit the move on the final lap. Ferry Lando gets his first podium in the league in P3. Ryan finishing P4 for McLaren. Stuyben in P5. Kuhn in P6 with the fastest lap. Chizzy finishing in P7 after not being here for qualifying. Martin P8, Lemon, of course, leaving the session after crashing out. Lemon had the chance to win, didn't get it in the end. Underboss and Nachuma in the Racing Points only come home with the 1 point. They started in P2, 3 and 4, didn't quite work out, and Carl did not finish the race. But now I can say thank you all for watching today's race in China. We will be back next week, same time, same day. We're going to be back next week in the Netherlands, the home country of a few of our drivers, of course, Stuyben, Nacho Man, Kuhn, just to name a few. But until then, next week, same time, I'll just say thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great week, great weekend from wherever you were watching. And until next week, see you guys. Bye bye.